Hi, it's Sarah here from So Sarah Style. I hope you're all well. Thanks for joining me today. I am bringing you today February's pattern from the Closet Core Crew subscription plan, and it is called the Sandstone jacket. I'll get onto that in a second, but I will just start with what I'm wearing and what my friend here is wearing. This is the Nina Lee Southbank sweater, and made from this fabulous tiger print from Pound Fabrics. And this top I've got on is actually a really old make that I've just dug out today. It is the Simplicity 8610, and it's a really interesting, it's just a little cropped kimono jacket. It's got elastic around the back, tie front, and it's made in a double gauze that, as I say, I think this was probably from Pound Fabrics at a guess, quite a few years ago. But I've made a couple of these and they are just lovely just to throw on with anything. And I really like the colour of this, so it's just brightens me up a little bit. And I'll get on now to actually talking about the pattern of the month, which is the Sandstone jacket. As I explained in my last vlog, I have joined Closet Core Crew, which is this year is going to be 12 months of elevated simple sewing patterns. All the sewing patterns hopefully should be able to mix and match and make one cohesive wardrobe. So I'm really looking forward to getting those made up and just to see what I come out with at the end. So as I say, last month was the Onyx pants, which were great. I have made a couple of pairs of those and have been wearing them non-stop, so that was a good start. And we have the Sandstone jacket, which I will just read to you. Is it says, effortlessly chic. The Sandstone is an elevated jacket for transitional seasons. With a loose fit and short length, ideal for layering, Sandstone is unlined and features a funnel collar, drop shoulder, concealed zipper, snap buttons, and a unique pleated sleeve. Personalise your jacket with optional patch pockets with flaps or a drawstring waist for additional shaping. So I was actually really pleased when this came through, because I don't have a jacket like that. I don't have anything in my wardrobe like that, and I really love the minimal look. As you can see here, and as you've seen many times before, I always love a funnel neck, and I like the fact that the zipper and the snaps are all invisible from the outside, so it's just really minimal. I'm not going to make the patch pockets. I'm going to make the drawstring and just keep it really simple, simple and as plain as possible. So I've ordered all the various bits of hardware, which are hopefully winging their way to me now, but I do already have the fabric that I think I'd like to use. I showed it to you a couple of vlogs ago, thinking about making a fibre mouquet in, and I did say that I might like to make a jacket with it as well. It's this unusual suede fabric. It's suede on the one side, and then the other side is denim. So there is a tutorial within it. There's actually a sew along for the jacket, and there's also a tutorial in there which talks about how to make flat felled seams. So I think that, because it's unlined, it's quite nice because you'll be able to see the inside, and I will just make the seams flat felled on the inside. So hopefully that should work quite nicely. This this fabric, as I say, it's a bit strange. It's quite unique. I've never come across anything like it before. I don't know how. Obviously it's not going to press very well at all, so I'm going to use a pressing cloth, I think, and probably a clapper as well. I don't know how well it will wear. It was very cheap fabric when I bought it. That doesn't mean to say it was necessarily cheap in the first place. I got it from £1 a metre, I think, for something like £10 for 3 metres. So I will see how I get on with that. It might be one of these that just wears really well, or it might just go on the creases. It might not last very long at all, but it's an experiment, so I'm gonna give that a go. If that doesn't work out very well, I have got some alternative fabrics, and 2 of which I bought to make the Closet Core Bianca flight suit, actually, which I'm still really keen to make at some point. So this was it's like a linen from Pound Fabrics, my absolute favourite shop, and this was to make a toile. So I have got this. It's printed, so it's sort of plain on the back, but I thought that actually might make quite a nice little jacket. So if I wanted to make a patterned one, or to be honest, because I'm going to try and make the whole the whole wardrobe mix and match. So I'm going to keep it in the similar tones. It's called the Stone collection. So the idea, I think, for me anyway, is to keep it all relatively natural in terms of colours and tones, etc. Is this fabric, which is a taupe canvas, which is the actual fabric that I bought to make the flight suit. So I think this would make a really quite a nice simple sandstone jacket as well. So if it all goes horribly wrong with the suede, I've also got that one as a backup. So that's the idea. I've printed out the size 8, I think. So I had a bit of well, it wasn't an issue. I was a little bit over ambitious with the sizing on the Onyx pants, and I printed out the size too small. So I ended up going back up 1 or 2 sizes. I can't quite remember. Anyway, this one I have gone for a size 8. I think my measurements put me between the 10 and the 12. So hopefully I haven't risked it too much. But the idea is that it's loose and boxy anyway. I don't have very wide shoulders at all. So often I don't like things to be too boxy. And it's with it being a drawstring waist, I kind of just guessed that that I could just pull it in. So that would be fine. And also I think the ease on the bust was something like 6 or 7 inches with the size 8 as well. So I thought, no, I'm just gonna go for it. And so I've printed that out, and hopefully we'll be getting that cut out later on today, and we'll report back to you with some progress, if not the finished garment. I'm not going to make a toile. I'm just going to be rebellious this time and just go for it in the suede fabric. As I say, it's a bit of a risk anyway, so if it doesn't work out, I have got something else to make it from. So I will leave you for now, and I will catch up with you later with the results. Thanks, bye. So here I am in my new suede sandstone jacket. I'm really pleased with it. I really like the length. I love the minimal feel of it. All the zip and the snaps obviously are hidden in this placket. They're slightly visible on this one because it's suede, so they've sort of taken the shape of the button slightly, but that doesn't really bother me. So I haven't done them up, so I can just open them and show you. These are all the snaps. I have had a bit of a problem with one of the snaps. Lesson learnt. Because I use the Vario pliers, which are brilliant, I have to say. I used to have to use hammer, and it was always a bit of a hit and miss affair. But I've got the Vario pliers, excuse me one sec, which are these, which have got the different attachments to put the snaps on. These make a really big difference. But what happened was, obviously, because this is quite thick, I perhaps didn't get it lined up properly. Pushed it in, it didn't feel like it clicked quite well enough. But I thought, oh, that'll do, as I usually do. It didn't do, because I've just gone to show you now, and one of the poppers has come off. So I've had to undo some of the top stitching, put it back on, make sure it's clicked in properly, and hopefully that should last. So as I say, lesson learned. If it doesn't feel like it's gone in properly, then it probably hasn't. So that was really the only issue that I had. The sew along was absolutely brilliant. Definitely use that if you're going to make the sandstone jacket. It's just so clear. There was only one issue actually that's reminded me with that. Make sure you look at the instructions while you're putting the zip in, because one of the zips needs to be top stitched. They both need to be facing the same way. It'll become clear if you make the jacket, because of the way that the placket works. The one zip gets folded back on itself in order to zip up. So that was the only mistake I made. I just had to undo some of the top stitching and flip the zip the other way, but it just goes in as normal. I love, as I say, I love the length. Really like the drawstring on it as well, because it's sort of a blouson jacket, but that just brings it in, so it's not flapping around at all. Really like, oh, so these are the little details that they're talking about, the pleat details on the sleeve, just a couple of pleats there at the elbow. So I think that works really. It's just these little additional bits of detail, because it is such a simple jacket. It's quite nice to have that. So you can have it done up with the funnel neck, which is always my preference, as you know, or I can unzip it a little bit and have it open to expose yet another of my Naya t-shirts in this sort of snakeskin and chain jersey that I picked up. I took my time actually making this. I tend to get a bit greedy sometimes when I'm sewing, and if I'm making something simple, I just want to get to the end of it as quickly as possible. That wasn't the case with this, because there were a few new techniques. Obviously, the zip, which goes up to just up to here, which you can see, and then the collar goes across it. So I had to sew the zip in and then cut the zip, and then had to stitch the in the ditch around the collar. And then the snaps. There are just a few different processes. These I've actually made buttonholes instead of grommets, just for the drawstring, because I didn't have the matching colour grommets. I'm a bit fussy like that. I only had silver, but I just wanted to keep it all the same colour. So there were a few new techniques, and so I just used different chunks of time in order to make it. So it's taken me slightly longer than I would have thought, but I was waiting for the hardware as well, so that kind of slowed me down. But I think sometimes that's worth doing, is just take your time, and then all of a sudden it comes together and you end up with a garment that you're really happy about. So the other thing that I mentioned that I might be doing with the flat felled seams, I didn't in the end, because this is quite a stiff fabric. I just thought with the flat felled, you're folding the seams over on themselves. They're going to get even stiffer, so I didn't really want that. So I've just done the other option, was a faux flat felled seam. I've just now got myself in a right tangle because it's all knotted here. Hang on one sec. Was a faux flat felled seam, which again, there are instructions on their website, and it's basically overlocked and then top stitched. So I think that worked well, because it was only one row of stitching, one row of top stitching, rather than the extra fold with the flat felled seam. I'm not explaining it very well, but anyway, that's worked out perfectly for this. So yeah, I am really happy. I'm wearing it with the Onyx pants, which are last month's pattern. So the idea is that they all mix and match. I think these obviously mix and match very well. I'm keeping all the colours quite neutral, as I said. So that's it really, I think, for this jacket. I am, as I say, really pleased with it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next month. So this fabric, actually, that's just reminded me, this fabric I got from another little cheeky trip to the rag market. I'll explain all in a minute. And I've made something to go with this, which I'm calling my Twinset with a twist. So it's just a little bit of a different Twinset, and I'll hop on now and show you that, and then I'll come back to you at the end. So this is what I'm calling the Twinset with a twist. Underneath I have the Tammy handmade Naya t-shirt, just for a change, which you've already seen, and over the top is the Pattern Emporium My Embrace cardi, draped cardi, which I talked about, I think, in my last vlog, when I was talking about the snake print fabric that my mum had chosen. I said I really quite fancied making up a My Embrace cardi in that fabric, but didn't have enough. Well, a very quick sneaky trip back into Birmingham, I know I've created a monster, had me find this fabric, which obviously it's got a bit of snake, a bit of chain and everything, but it's not quite the same. It's actually a scuba print, but this isn't for me, so I haven't done it. This isn't selfish sewing. A friend of mine has recently had an operation, and she's lacking mobility slightly, so she needs things that she can put on over her shoulders. So I just thought, actually, this would be fantastic. So this is actually for her. But at the same time, obviously, it's a bit of a practice for me. I showed you the fabric last time that I wanted to make the Embrace cardi in, and I probably will. The sort of blue checked fabric, it's over there somewhere. Hang on, excuse me one sec. It's this fabric, so I think I might make one up for myself in this. It's a slightly different texture though, that's the only thing. This scuba actually is perfect because, as you can imagine, hemming knits isn't my favourite activity, but it's not too bad. I've cheated, to be honest. I haven't had a huge amount of time, so I've just overlocked it and hemmed it all the way around. It's behaved itself really quite well, considering there's about 3 miles of hemming. It hasn't been too bad. This is the size, I can't remember what size I made. I think it's a medium, and with the short cuff, so it's literally just a little cuff that adds on. It's one huge pattern piece with the cuffs, and it just works really well. I think this fabric is printed slightly on the diagonal anyway, so I don't know what it's doing. It's probably still going a bit diagonal across the back, but you can put it with a belt. Looks really nice with a belt as well. Actually, I really quite like it, sort of loose and drapey, And when I make another one, I will definitely make a matching t-shirt as well, because I just think it's quite fun, and it works as a nice outfit. Hopefully you can see the length. This was, I think, the tunic length, which is the shortest length, but I cut it. It's really clever because there are 3 cutting lines. There are, if I show you a little bit of the pattern piece, it's just one huge pattern piece, but there are different cutting lines for the different lengths, but also for short, medium and tall. So if that makes sense, I cut the shortest cardigan but at the tall length, so just to give me a couple more inches. My friend's a similar height to me, so it should hopefully work out quite well for her. So all in all, I'm really pleased with it. I have popped in a little label there that says today is a good day, and hopefully every day will be getting better as for her as she's continuing her recovery. So that's it really. That's, as I say, my twin set with a twist. So that's February's pattern from the Closet Core crew. It's the Sandstone jacket, which I'm really pleased with. As I said at the start, I don't actually have anything like this in my wardrobe, so I'm sure it'll get plenty of wear. I look forward to seeing you in March with the new Closet Core pattern, whatever that will be. Hopefully it'll be another useful addition to my wardrobe, but I will see you in the meantime with some more plans and makes as usual. So take care. Bye.